4,
5, 6, 7, 8,
9, 10. We are live. Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the last live stream of 2022.
Ever.
Not ever. We will come back with renewed vigor and energy and work out some live streams for next year. Don't worry.
But let's be honest, it's been a good run. You know.
Had a good run.
It was a pleasure to meet you all.
It's been wonderful having you all with us this last 12 months. I was just saying to Con, this is the third Christmas that we've been live streaming.
That's right. And we will see you all in 2023. Goodbye.
No, we will. It's not that short. So we're doing an Ask Us Anything. We haven't done one of these in a little while. And sometimes we do it to kick off the new year, but we've already got some plans for our New Year live streams.
We're going to be busy.
Yes, we are. So I thought, well, let's do an Ask Us Anything. And I had some questions on Instagram, so I'm going to answer those in a little bit. First of all, I must say thank you to everyone for the last 12 months who's contributed to the Coffee Fund. And specifically in the last month, because I usually thank you at the end of each month, I have to say a big thank you to Jeffrey Holland, to Alan Knott, to Keith Bamber, to Christoph Lang, to Ian Woolard, and to Brent Susi. Thank you all for contributing. That was through PayPal. The PayPal link does still work, and I do check it once a month just to see who has been kind enough to do a Coffee Fund contribution that way. If you haven't already given the stream a like, please give it a like. I'm just going to skip the ad so that I can see us. There we go. That's good, isn't it? So questions.
Yeah, questions. Some people apparently use Instagram still.
They do.
Yeah.
Including myself.
I should come back to it.
You should.
Because fashion is cyclical. It's coming back in trend again.
Yeah. Instagram went out of trend and then it went back. It's not really a trendy thing to do. It's a bit annoying, actually. I think we're still wonky, but anyway.
Yeah. I think I've decided to choose no social media at all.
No. You've just gone down that route. It's
sit on the sofa doing nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very time consuming. So I understand your reasons why. Hello to everyone who's joined us. I have to say hello to a special hello to Kevin and James, who came into the shop last week and met myself and Gray.
And I've missed them, clearly. Missed them, okay, yeah. Well, that's me. Sorry.
So thank you for coming in. And to anyone else who's popped in the last couple of weeks, but a special hello. I always like it when people say, I watched the live stream and I'm blah from blah. And I'm like, oh, now I can put a face to the name. So that's good.
It's nice. I agree.
Our first question of the afternoon.
Yeah. Question of the week.
Yeah. we missed that, actually.
Yeah, we need to come back to that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Was from Baxter, who said, how many DSLR bodies do you take in part exchange or trade where a customer is upgrading, but the shutter count is ridiculously low? A lot.
All of them. Bring them all. We'll take them.
Honestly, the exception is when it depends on what your definition of ridiculously low is, I think. But less than, say, 5,000 is more common than you would expect. I'd say about 1 in 6 cameras has a shutter count of less than 5,000.
That's true. We are more concerned when the shutter count is ridiculously high because obviously it's a warranty thing, and since we have to warranty our second-hand products for at least a year, if not more. Exactly. So we need to consider this, and shutter replacements on those cameras, they still have shutters. Yeah. Not many left. All of them except Z9. But, like shutter replacement is one of those, but when we have to take into consideration as well. That's right. So when a camera's done, 75, 100K, 150K, 200K shots, for us, we know that it's seen some action. It's seen a lot of things. Work. Yeah. And that's a little bit more concerning from a resale point of view. Seth said, one day we need the cameras to show us hours the sensors have been active. Yeah. Once we don't have mechanical shutters to have a count anymore. That's right. He had a good point on his predictions live stream. And yeah, basically he has a web camera that's basically been running 24/7. I'm lying, but around that time. So, and it only took maybe like something like 3,000 shots. Yeah. Would you buy a camera like this, or would you buy the camera that would have, let's say, 15,000 shots, but would be only used for stills photography? Yeah. Difficult question. It's something that definitely we probably will need to consider in the future. That's right. Nick and a couple of other people actually were saying that there's too many adverts on Instagram, so Vero is apparently better. There is the thing where the cool kids are. Need to get into that. It's like finding the time to set up a new account and figure out what pictures I'm going to put on there. It's like when you go, oh,
I have a website, and then you go, actually, I haven't uploaded any pictures for a year.
Yeah. I mean, Instagram is a marketing platform. It's not a photographer's platform, really. Yeah. So, and in terms of this, it's just, if you want to market yourself, then it's a good way to do this. If you actually want to put some good photography, it's very difficult to actually be posting every day with a good quality, unless you have like years of amazing photographs.
That's right. Got some good questions coming in. I will try and read every single one of them in between the lots of lovely I would like to wins. What would you like to win?
What would you like to win?
My Santa's hat.
Yeah, but we thank people for Coffee Fund, but we also thank you all for just being with us.
Exactly.
Throughout ups and downs. It's only ups, really, but through everything, really.
Yes, through all of the great blackouts, as Sam said. When's the great blackout of? I survived the great blackout.
Exactly, coffee spills, you name it.
All of that. So thank you. Some of you have been with us since the very beginning, when it was just me, by my lonesome. Between homeschooling during lockdown, and
then there was a second coming.
We managed to get Con in and actually turn this into a slightly more conversational.
Just lower the bar.
That's what I had to do, babe.
The bar was too high that some people were just I can't. It's too intellectual for me. Let's bring Con.
Something like
Let's bring him to the level.
And then we created a monster, and now we have this wonderful group of individuals.
Exactly.
Seth said, what is this Xmas you speak of? It's this little thing that certain people celebrate at this time of year. Not compulsory. You can celebrate the winter solstice. You can celebrate Hanukkah when it happened. There's plenty of celebrations around this time period.
That's it. There's a holiday in Sweden. It's called Midsommar. I saw the movie about it. It's fun.
Is it? Is it a horror movie?
It is.
It is. I hear it from the way it's Swedish.
But look, I'm not religious.
No.
But Christmas is always holiday. So like, let's say technically.
That's why they say happy holidays.
Happy holidays, exactly. And technically, like, I was Christian when I was 7 and I'm Orthodox. So my Christmas is actually on 7th of January, but my wife's Christmas, she's Catholic, so it's on 25th.
Yeah.
So we have this long holiday with the New Year thrown in.
2-week celebration.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a family time, good old-fashioned family time. Who does this nowadays?
Precisely that. I think to Nigel, who's going to Oxford tomorrow, it's going to rain in Oxford, as far as I know. That's
what do you reckon? Do you have any update on traffic?
Forecast. I don't have the traffic report.
Yeah, M25, no? Yesterday, traffic was awful in London.
Yeah. I got in and out okay, actually. I got in and out to London okay by the roads, but it's definitely getting a bit mental. I'm trying to find the questions.
All right, you do this.
Can I do the questions?
25 minutes took me for the 3, like normally it would be 3-minute trip. It took me 25 minutes.
Craziness. So Michael asks, what would be your most wanted accessory from Santa? A Leica.
That I haven't bought myself already. It's tough.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would like a, there's a reason for this, but I would like a camera hot shoe light meter. For my new camera.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Voigtland is a bit expensive.
It is quite expensive.
But there's a lot of Chinese ones.
Is it 7 Artisans or TT Artisans that make one?
TT Artisan does one. There's another one called Dumo. And there's a couple of European ones as well on the market. So have a look at them. There's plenty of choice. Anything from about £60 to about, I think, $230 for Voigtlander and everything in between. But also you can just get old-fashioned L308s. No, L308 Sikonic.
Right.
You just want, you take it
Yes,
out.
but I want a sitting on the camera one.
And a spot one.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a really old Western Super 2.
I've got a Sunny 16. If
exactly.
I would know
if all else
how
fails,
it works in England.
Keep elbowing you. So that would be my most wanted accessory, Michael. Hopefully that answers your question. We will read all the comments, all the lovely well wishes. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's very nice. And Merry Christmas to you all and Happy Holidays, I think. it is an international thing. You can't just say Merry Christmas. I think it's everything.
You know what you say if you're Welsh?
No.
Nadolig llawen.
Oh, that sounds that something what Tilly would say,
and
because she's
half
half Welsh.
That's right. So I speak to Tilly in Welsh sometimes. She doesn't listen to me, regardless.
No.
She was originally a Welsh dog. She came from, was it South Wales?
Yeah, from Wrexham.
That's right.
There's a football team, Wrexham, and Reynolds bought it.
Put it on the map.
From there,
There you go. Okay, Brian has a good question. He says, how do you protect your cameras and lenses from sea spray?
I try not to dunk my camera into the sea if I can. Generally, I think if you're on the seaside, it depends. That's the thing. If you a lot on a boat or something, then it's probably tough. Eventually the salt will get in there, but it will take years as long as you don't dip it into the. But as soon as you dip it into the seawater, it's highly likely that the salt will eat into the depths of the camera. Now, Lens Rentals, the American company, I think led by John Cicala, if I'm not mistaken, they've published an article on their blog on literally seawater damaged cameras. And they say effectively, even if you dry it after, it's not going to fix any issue because the salt goes inside and it will damage all the circuit boards, etc., etc. So be careful.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no easy way. I mean, I watch a lot of when Rishi actually shares his stories when he's out in the big wide world.
Roger Cicala, not John Cicala.
That's okay. I wouldn't have known the difference.
Some people know. That's why I have to be careful on the internet when I say.
Yes, you do.
They'll come back to me 20 years later.
That's right. So you got this wrong. So Rishi sometimes shows himself doing landscapes and stuff out by the ocean. I've never seen him put any protective gear on his camera. What I know he does do is gives it a really good wipe down and clean afterwards. If you keep a bag of, lens cleaners that you can throw away so you don't get stuff just sitting in there, cleaning cloths and stuff, just make sure it's very well wiped off. But it is atmospheric, so it's a tough one for sure.
I've done one thing once. I made a hole in a Tesco plastic bag and put a rubber band around the lens, and that's effectively just kind of covered the lens from the sea dust, the camera, etc. So you can do that. I mean, it's probably better than nothing.
Certainly better than nothing.
Otherwise, buy a whole diving rig.
You can do those. You can get those kind of like neoprene covers and those silicone covers, but they sometimes let dirt and dust get underneath them, and then it kind of just gets stuck to the camera. So I don't totally recommend.
But that's unless you really dip it into the water, I think you generally should be okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Brian's question. Do put QQQ at the front, otherwise I'm definitely going to miss it. Now, we had a question both from Nick on Instagram and just now from Albert on the subject of any particular lenses in the pipeline. Albert wanted to know about tilt shift lenses. Nick was asking about dedicated fisheyes for Zs. I have a feeling, and obviously we don't know anything beyond what the rumor websites know, but I have a feeling that we probably won't see a fisheye or a tilt shift in this coming year from Nikon. I think that there's a few more lenses. I mean, we were talking about it yesterday. We've got some videos coming out over the break, so you won't be completely Becky and Conless. Don't worry. You'll still be able to get your fix. And we were looking at how many lenses they've got on the immediate roadmap. It's probably enough to tide them over for the next year.
That's true. I mean, I'm looking at Fuji GFX system, and they only recently put their tilt and shift lenses on the roadmap, and those lenses are not out yet. So I think maybe we may get them on the roadmap, and maybe a fisheye as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I agree with you. Probably we won't see the release next year, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. They release some less they weren't on the roadmap.
It's true.
So there is a potential there. But Nikon 8 to 15mm fisheye f mount is fantastic. So
Nick's got that one. So,
yeah. I think Seth got this one as well, and I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic lens.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
So we have to do some coffee fun thank yous, and also if you haven't liked the stream yet, please give it a like, because I know it sounds silly to remind you, but actually people forget, and then the whole stream goes by and you haven't liked the stream. So please do give it a thumbs up. So thank you to David Alden Webb, who said, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Looking forward to more entertainment in 2023, so we better be entertaining. Thank you to Richard Williams, who said Happy Xmas and a happy 2023.
Thank you, Richard.
To all at Grays from County Durham, Richard and George the Snoring Bulldog. We love George.
I think we always pass this info to the guys who are on the floor, because I think, we appreciate us, but those are the guys that do the real work.
Guys and girls.
And obviously you. Yeah, well, guys, I mean just non-gender ways.
Folks.
Folks, So, but they all appreciate
them
that.
And me. And
me, myself, and I.
That's right. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, I was just trying to see. Here we go.
Yeah, there were quite a few.
Yeah, there were a few. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. Okay, so thank you to Mitch Bergner,
Thank you.
And thank you to Seth. Thank you so much.
Seth.
Who said, hope to run into you guys next year so I can steal stickers. Have a great 2023. Seth, we must make it happen somehow. 2023 is the year.
The rumor is he's going to do something in London with Joe McNally himself. So who knows, you know, so.
Absolutely. Russell remembers when he joined because it was just after the great coffee spill of 2021.
So everyone was mentioning and he was like, what are they all talking about?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you to Ian Knox for your contribution to the coffee fund. And here we go. And my hat is apparently very adorable, which is good. Yes, I've decided to go fully festive today. I just thought I'm going to get into the Christmas spirit.
I'm dressed like Christmas tree.
You are. That's right. You blend right in. Thank you to Chris Angel and to Jean, who said, thank you, Becky and Con and the folks at Grace for a fabulous year of weekly presentations. And Terry and Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah.
And Yaman and Mark.
Thank you, Yaman.
I think I got everyone. Yay.
Whoa.
Okay, good.
There were quite a lot.
There were quite a lot. Right. So Seth also has some tips on how to protect your cameras from fake blood. Not sea spray, but, you know.
So when the zombie apocalypse happens,
you can still
talk to Seth. Exactly.
That's right. And then there was someone who asked me, so, okay, I'm going to dive very quickly into the Instagram questions because I promised I would answer them. So I will.
All right. As soon as you'll know how to navigate the interface.
I just have to remember how to do it. There we go. See all. There's quite a lot of questions.
Wow, that's quite a few.
Yeah.
You've got some following.
Thanks. Okay, first question was from Normal Wildlife, who said, is it wrong to ask my mum for a Z9 for Christmas?
It's not wrong.
Go for it.
You deserved it.
MD252 said, will you be writing a fiction book about a photographer? Yeah. The answer is yes.
Yeah, you've got...
my current work in progress, in fact. Probably won't see it for about 5 years.
Oh, is that where you were talking about the daguerreotypes and all that?
Daguerreotypes. Daguerreotypes. Close.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as I say, you probably see it in a good few years. It takes quite a long time. Writing the book is one thing.
Is it me? Is it about me,
getting
photographer?
Published. Yeah, it's about you.
In 18th century.
in
hunting vampires with my camera.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I'm writing it.
Because my flash is producing daylight. That's what kills them. Exactly. It's a special powder, daylight powder.
Excellent. Okay, so CJ Weber said, do you think you'll make it to Alaska for a visit? I thoroughly enjoy watching both of you. Alaska has not yet been on our tour ideas map.
Yeah. I saw the map the other day, and you got like United States, right? And then you got Canada, and then Alaska is there.
Right. So it's quite far. It's going to be a bit chilly.
It's a bit, yeah. But I'm hoping to go to New York next year. Fingers crossed. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know,
so never say never. And thank you so much for your question. So a couple of people asked similar themed questions. Are you taking pre-orders for Z8 and Z90? When do you think Z8 will be announced? Someone just put Z8 ? When will we have the Z8? So to answer all your questions in one go, we don't know. What's our speculation? What do you think?
Well, we discussed this on the video.
I know.
So we don't want to talk the same.
We're going to keep the answer short. We don't know for sure, but we think it will hopefully be the first quarter of next year.
And it's going to be glorious.
So whatever it is, we think it's going to be wonderful.
But we will do year in review, which is going to come out, I think, on Tuesday next week. And then a week later, or on Friday, we haven't decided yet, we are going to do the predictions.
Yeah.
So we've recorded all that. It's in the pipeline. And a lot of Z8 questions will be discussed there.
So hopefully, if you're watching this and you ask that question, you will also stay tuned and watch the predictions one in a week or so, whenever you said it was coming out. I've forgotten now. So, all right, next question.
Yeah, we think soon, that's for sure. We think soon.
Yeah. We do. Double Cat Espresso said, what's the most amazing camera / lens you've shot with, analog and or digital?
Yeah, we talked about this, right?
So... not on camera. We talked about this before the live stream. So I think this year, because someone also asked what was the best piece of equipment you used in 2023, or what was your favorite? And for me, I think the Noct was quite a treat.
Yeah.
we don't see that every day. And it was fun to use. It weighs a ton, but it was a beautiful lens. I wish we'd had it for longer. I wish we'd been allowed to have it for a couple of weeks, because then we would have been able to, do some astro stuff with it. And
some X-rays,
some studio, and a bit of everything. But because we were quite limited to the amount of time we had with it, we had to do what we had. And the weather was glorious, and we shot outside with it. And then people said, well, that's not what I wanted to see with this lens. And we were like, well, sorry.
That's life.
Sorry for trying.
Life is not fair.
But I really did enjoy shooting with that, despite the general feedback.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you, because we never, like, I know you've done the opening, we've recorded that, but we actually haven't tried the lens. And it was just always interesting to see, like, what's the fuss is about? Why this lens is so special and so expensive? And just to handle and see, like, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. I can see why they're asking a little money for it. But yeah, it, like, definitely, I wouldn't say like it's the most amazing lens I've used, but definitely it was really exciting just to see what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The other one that I really liked was the 6mm fisheye, which, again, very unusual lens. There are only 100 of them ever made. So that one was a bit special. We shot that right at the beginning of last year. I remember it was really cold.
Yeah.
So it was probably like January, February.
Millennium Bridge.
No tripod.
Yeah. That was fun. But
we really upset someone with that one.
But you know what I also enjoyed? I enjoyed this year to use some things that haven't released yet. Like we have some things that...
Not
Nikon things, but they've been with us for the last 3 months and the product hasn't been announced yet. And it's just cool for us to, like, a small YouTube channel. It's like, oh, wow, we get sent things.
We got sent some stuff.
That's really cool. That's really enjoyable.
Nice.
And obviously, it's always nice when Nikon comes in and says, oh, we have this little thing is going to be announced next week. You know.
Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's
exactly.
Nice.
When it does, it's nice. Yeah. It's just like, oh, wow. Like, the moment when we found out about what Z9 actually is, before the announcement, we found out the specs and everything. That was incredible, because we knew that this is just going to be a groundbreaking camera. So when you just, they're showing you the specs and you just keep smiling. You're just like, perfect. Because a lot of announcements you kind of see, this is nice, but this is not good. You can clearly see kind of the things that they can improve on. And then Z9 was just, everything was perfect, like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it was like, wow, Nikon is onto something there.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. So hopefully we'll have more of that in this coming year.
Yeah, when is Nikon coming with Z8? Is it January?
We can live in hope. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know, honestly.
Okay, so then, can't read that from here. Rakesh Chatterjee Photography said, what are your thoughts on Pentax releasing new film cameras? Should Nikon do that?
They should. Everyone should.
We should all do that.
But that's us.
We think so. We really like it. We like that Pentax have said they're going to try this, and also that it's going to be different cameras for different price points. And I hope it goes really, really well for them. I do.
I'm going to spend money on it. Like we always say, vote with your wallet. Like, I'm going to buy, unless it's something 35-pound cheap plastic lens camera. Like, I won't buy that. But if they release a competent camera, something like K1000, something, I will spend money on it just to support them. It's very important to show that those things are actually worth it, and people would buy them, because then other companies will follow the suit. And I think it's very important. So definitely looking forward to it. The whole announcement obviously is not, they haven't announced any cameras. They said, we're going to bring the people, we're going to, hopefully pass that knowledge, how to service old cameras, how to create those old film cameras to younger generations. And we're hoping to create about 3 cameras in the future. So if it works or not, they didn't say that it's going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. So, but it's very exciting. And I think whoever uses film and loves film, you should just spend money on that. Like, it's very important to support it. And for the small company like Ricoh, Pentax, who are still with their DSLRs, they have a niche in the luxury compact cameras as well, and I think they still make Pentax medium format. It's a very small company, a very niche company. Yeah. They don't sell big numbers, and for them to do something like this, I think it's a nice way of positioning yourself as a company. So you're not just gonna die because you don't sell enough. You actually evolve at the same time.
Yes, I approve that message. Rakesh also asked a question of what was our favorite film, but I have to just say before he goes, a very quick thank you to Paul Montgomery for your contribution to the Coffee Fund. How dare you have to entertain your family members instead of watching us? No. We really, really appreciate you coming in, supporting the channel. Paul's been a great follower and supporter. Thank you so much. Have a great Christmas. Rakesh asked another question off the back of that Pentax question, which was what film are you looking forward to shooting with in 2023? Now, we've gotten a couple of nice bits and bobs over the recent weeks. I think we've got some kind of funky purple Lomo, which...
Oh, yes,
I'm
purple
kind
Lomo.
of interested by that one.
It's supposed to mimic Aerochrome, but it's not the same.
No.
So it's not the same, but we haven't used this one. There's another one that's supposed to come out this year. It haven't been released as far as I'm aware. The Lomo Turquoise, one of those. I've got Cinestill 400D, which I haven't used yet. So it's going to go into my cameras very, very soon. Yeah. I'm in a process of kind of tasting all those films right now and see what the difference is like. Kind of Portra 400 is kind of my to-go film, and I'm happy with it. It gives me exactly the colors I want.
Yeah.
But we just got the Fuji film, Superior 400.
That's right.
It's been out of stock for more than a year, so we have it in stock now. So whoever wants to order through Grey Shop, they can. So I haven't seen this film for about 3 years, so I'm definitely going to put a roll through maybe over Christmas time.
Excellent. Seth suggested that we stream using the Noct. If we can get one for long enough, why not? Yeah. We would have to not move. We'd literally have to hold our heads in places. The depth of field is so
especially
shallow.
2 people at 0.95. That's going to be crazy. Yeah, I remember when we were recording the review. Yeah. You literally, I was filming it, I was like, okay, Becky, just don't breathe, you know.
Exactly, just don't move. Roger said, picking up on Seth's last question, which I have missed because of all the things, but I will check it out. It said, what lens would you like to mount on a Z, but you're not allowed to do so? Oh, Seth asked what the rarest thing is in the shop. Yeah, that we have on display. It's the Lapita, I think.
Lapita, yeah, at the moment.
I think the Lapita is. So the
Lapita, FM or FM2?
It's an FM2.
FM2, yeah.
And it was made specifically for the Japanese press. It's in this incredible brown leather, leatherette cover on the sides and back, but with a chrome top and base. It's a beautiful camera. That camera is one of the rarest ones that we have. We do have a Dragon Millennium Edition FM2N. We also have a Year of the Dog.
Don't we have some rare rangefinders, like half frame or something?
We have a half frame. We do, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think
it was S3M or something.
S3M, half frame.
That one is expensive.
It is very, very rare. Forgot that we had that one. And then we also have a couple of miniature Nikon Fs, which are not for use, but are for display, which are also very rare.
Which are not for you.
Yeah, not for use. You can't actually use them, but you can take the back off. Very, very cute. Lens, the rarest lens that I've ever mounted on a Z, and I actually did it, with or without permission is another matter, was the 13mm f5.6.
Ah, and you had to be careful not to scratch the sensor because the rear element was quite
it almost sticks out of the FTZ. And the problem was if you have IBIS on and the sensor
it's nicely
moves,
drawing a circle on the sensor.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. So that was a bit scary. But anyway, so I've already done that experiment, although I probably shouldn't have. I'd like to see if one of the OP lenses works, but I don't think they do. That's not recommended. And they're too expensive for you to try out and then do damage. If we had throwaway ones, it would be different.
Well, technically, yeah, there's no mirror, right? So you got FTZ. So technically, it should fit.
You would think so. But with the 13mm, I mean, again, it's a mirror up construction, right? Yeah. But it's whether there's a millimeter difference in the chamber between having a sensor there or having a mirror in the way.
Business,
so I mean, it's a very risky proposition. Vim asks how many lenses we have in our private collection. Depends on which format we're talking here.
Way too many.
A lot.
Yeah, just January comes, really have to go through all my equipment and let some lenses go.
I think of the Zs, I've actually only got 4 Z lenses.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
But you've got a couple more than me.
No,
yeah, because you've also got the 24. No, because I have both macros.
I got 24-70, 24-200, and 50-1.8.
Yeah, and I've got 35-1.8, 50 macro, 105 macro, and 24-70.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then we've got DX. So, okay, 16-50 as well.
Oh, wow. You got quite a few. No, I had 24-70 f4, but as soon as I got 2.8 version, I just sold that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
And it's annoying because we used to film on that.
Yeah, so now I have to bring mine along every time we go filming. And then f-mount lenses, about 6 or 7. I've got the 28 2.8, the 55 1.2, the 105 2.5, the 135 2.8, and the 200 f4.
Wow.
Plus the 35 70 2.8 on my f6.
Shall come to your house.
And then Pentax lenses, and then Leica Voigtlander mount, Voigtlander. Yeah, so I've got a few lenses and lots of adapters as well. Fun. So I didn't think I answered your question, but
there's quite a few, unfortunately.
A few.
We're a bit of hoarders.
Thank you. I know, it's terrible. I need to sort of.
The thing is, okay, like this is the problem with like either pro photographers or like us, because we work in the shop and, you know, and we film and we have access to a lot of equipment. The problem is now I have a camera for different uses. And that's annoying because you can just have one camera that does it all.
Yeah.
But like, this camera is going to use for negatives, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
This is my studio camera. Okay, now this is the camera for filming, for video only.
Yes.
You know, then I have my film cameras and, you know,
and
film
it's
cameras.
One for each mood.
Yes, basically. And one like, especially if you look at 35mm cameras, it's like, which film stock is in this camera? That's what I'm going to do. It's like, which flavor I want today. And then you got medium format, and you have many medium format sizes as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely have to probably get rid of quite a few things. Streamline it. What's the Japanese lady that does all this decluttering thing?
Mary.
Yeah, I should watch basically the whole season on Netflix.
What on earth is her name? Mary
Kondo?
Yeah.
So yeah, I should really probably watch the season on Netflix and then get rid of everything.
If it doesn't bring you joy.
But they all bring me joy.
They bring us joy. We're not getting rid of anything.
That's the problem.
Okay, another question.
Yes.
Gordon says my kit lenses for the ZFC seem to be very good. Is it the lens or the camera? If I use f-mount lenses on the ZFC, am I going to get similar results? I'm just wondering whether to buy an adapter or not.
Difficult to say. General native lenses, they're a little bit sharper, and you know, because they're specifically designed for the mount, but you also get the latest technology in terms of, you know, whatever coatings, etc., etc. So, but the f-mount lenses are very good, and sharpness is not everything.
No.
So, you know, we like to use sometimes manual focus lenses because they produce different feel and look to the image.
That's right.
So in terms of this, I wouldn't just base your, you know, like assumption about the lenses just based on sharpness, and also, you know, I don't know if you need those focus that much. Let's say maybe f-mount lenses, what's focus speed is going to be a tiny bit slower compared to Z-mount lens.
Yes. Like, for example, with the 18 to 140, the Z version is sharper than the f-mount version on the ZFC.
Much better.
So I would not adapt that one, but there are other lenses that are I don't see any harm in getting an adapter because there's so many lenses. It really opens up your camera to so many different lens options. Pierre Louis asks, do you think that a Nikon Z 24mm f1.2 is possible? The 24-14G has not been replaced for a long time. Would you buy a 24-12? Do you think that's something they would do?
I don't see why not. I wouldn't buy it personally. No. I more of a 28, but they had 28-14. So, you know, 24-14 as well, the G. So potentially they may release those. I don't see why not.
I think it might be a 28 because they've got a 20-1.8 and a 24-1.8.
And they also do, but they also
don't have a 28.
In the f-mount, they have 24-14 and 28-14.
It's true. Interesting. Good question, Pierre-Louis. Don't have a definitive answer, but I think it's entirely possible.
I think one of those will come first, whichever it is, 28 or 24, and then probably it will take another couple of years for the second one to come in.
Yes. We have John D would love it if we got to Alaska. So we've got another vote for Alaska there. We've got a few for New York, a few for Alaska. Thank you to Jim for your contribution to the Coffee Fund. Very generous. Thank you to Nick, who said your advice and support is exceptional. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Now, let's keep going. And I've got to look for the QQQs. John Hughes, we have 100 to 400s in stock. You should cancel your order with Nikon. We've got them. We'll send it out to you.
And you know what? Once they're gone, if we believe what Nikon Japan said, that they're suspending the orders for the dealers, then it's going to be a long time for the next shipment.
Yeah, so just order it from us. Anyway, as you're already a
customer.
Don't
buy from Nikon. Buy from us. No, I think Nikon is going to be on the call in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, they probably will be like,
shut the stream down, you know.
Shut it down. No, they don't say that. Colin asks when we'll see the Z1, 2, 3, 4. 1/2/3/4. What would that camera be? Because
it will consist of 4 parts.
Like
1, 2.
Meccano of a camera. No, I'm just curious. Like, are we talking like an ultimate flagship body? Because the Z9 is basically it.
But is Z9 not good enough? That's the thing. I think it's amazing, and I think like from the lineup that they already have, so Z8, hopefully a studio camera, but some people say it's mini Z9. We'll see. We need that. I think Video Z would be nice as a kind of different kind of camera if they want to go with the video side of things. But Z9 is fantastic video camera, just so you know. Yeah. And then ZF, retro ZF, basically bigger ZFC makes sense. I don't know what we need in 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it probably, I guess, low resolution, much better low light. That could make sense.
Maybe that would replace out the D6, because the D6 and D5 are still, we have photographers that kept their D5s and D6s and bought the Z9 as a sort of complementary camera, but those do their low light work, and then the Z9 does their sort of high speed, high frame rate, high resolution stuff. So yeah, it's entirely possible. Steve asks if he can mount his Z7 on a PB6 with an FTZ adapter. Yes, you can, absolutely. It's actually, I've used the Z6 with a PB6, and it's just as good, if not slightly better, because you can actually really see what you're doing on the sensor. Although be very aware that you are just letting all the dust come in. It's just all gonna...
So like harmonic.
The amount of dust removal I had to do on the last set of shots we shot was unbelievable.
And also because Z6 is quite small, there's no spacing issues that you would have with some DSLRs.
Yeah. So that's the answer to that one. Someone else also asked, and I lost the question. I will find it. Oh, what's the best setup for slide copying? Is it ES2 with 50mm macro, or is it PB6 with FTZ, PB6 with PS6, or PB6?
PS5 is the way to go.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's
the PS Plus. They have a deal now.
So to be honest, ES2 with the 50mm macro is the most compact setup. I wouldn't say one's better than the other necessarily, but it's the most compact and the easiest to use by far. If you go down the bellows route with a slide copying holder, it's slightly less versatile, less convenient in terms of moving about, but if you're going to keep everything on a fixed rig, you can totally do it. There isn't one that's going to produce much better images than the other because the camera is the same. The 50mm macro is superb for reproduction. The 55 3.5 arguably doesn't resolve enough detail, but is still a beautiful lens. So
can you see the sparkle in Becky's eyes when she's talking about her photography?
It's such a nerdy subject.
Because you just lost me. The moment you said PB6, I was gone.
It's just white noise, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, but it's good. It's that's why we do different things.
You get very passionate about like different film stocks and things, which I also enjoy. But yeah, and then I get very excited about slide copying and macro. Bob said every time I open a drawer or cupboard, I find another bit of camera hidden away by my wife. These items are hers and mine lives in a backpack camera bag and sock drawer. Goodness me. That's one way to store your cameras. Okay.
Did we think wins?
I don't know, because I just got this float. No, so thank you to Vince.
Thank you, Vince.
Thank you so much for your contribution to Coffee Fund. He said, do you have options on Alpha Guard or any other camera skins? Speaking of sea spray and protection. Cheers, Merry Christmas, and happy shooting in 2023.
You saw those, camo skins. Remember, we covered this on Nikon Reports. And those are things,
Yeah, so Alpha Guard is one. They do one for the Z9.
Yeah, they do. They have like several different.
There was another one.
Patterns.
There was another one.
This I'm not sure.
I mean,
you can buy like the silicone.
Yeah,
type,
that's what I was. Yeah. So that is another option for protecting your camera from sea spray. But I just remember someone bringing us their D200 that had that silicone thing on it, and they'd gone to Burning Man, and when they came back, right, we took the silicone off, and the dust and the dirt was just glued to the surface of the camera.
Question is, what is this Indian holiday where they throw some colored powder in each other?
Oh, the Festival of Colors. I don't know if it's got another.
So again, coming back to Lens Rentals, who is led by Roger Sikal. I'm going to pronounce his name correctly this time.
Yeah.
again, on their blog, because they take the cameras and parts and they repair, they have literally the article that shows camera came from Burning Man and from the Festival of Color.
Yeah.
And all this micro dust, it gets in.
Gets everywhere.
Yeah, it gets inside the camera, they open it, and it's all covered in there.
Yeah, see, someone said Holly, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Thank you, Sushant. And then Roger said Diwali. But I think that isn't there more than one... Holi is the Festival of Colours. There you go. Good, yeah. I got it.
No, Diwali is November because it's around the same time as the Guy Fawkes.
Yeah, which is very different to the throwing of the colours.
I know because Tilly is suffering.
Oh, yes, because of
all the fireworks.
We have Guy Fawkes and that's... So and that's right. And then when we were living in sort of... Ealing Way, West Ealing has a huge community there, and there was fireworks for 3 days in a row. It was it was amazing.
Generally, anything like from 1st of November and then it goes till about maybe 10th of January. That's like a period where you can have fireworks pretty much every evening. Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, I'm being coached on how to pronounce it. Pronounced Hoali. Hoali. Thank you, C1, for correcting my pronunciation there.
That's why we have people in the chat to correct us. Because we can't know it all, that's for sure.
That's right. Okay, so Nigel asked a question. Do you have any recommendations for someone who can do an astro conversion, H alpha, for a D800E in the UK? I wonder if Advanced Camera Services could do it.
Could be. They do infrared, right?
They definitely do infrared, and I think they also do astro conversions. So, Nigel, check out Advanced Camera Services. Al, yes, I know.
It's too far.
Did you know that Al used to be my next door neighbour?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, very, very close. Just around the corner. Back in the day when I still lived in London. Okay, just a long O. Hooli.
Mm-hmm.
I will get there eventually. As Len said, don't forget to like. Please do put a thumbs up there. It'd be great. I have a few more questions from the gram, which I'm going to pick up now before we do anything else. Enrico asked, which photography-related books would you take with you on a desert island? Do you have any photography books that you take with you?
No, I know everything. No, I'm kidding. But I generally don't like... I buy sometimes theory on photography book, but why would you have a book like?
I mean, if you no internet in it.
No, but it's like if it's a technical photography, you kind of know that. Like I do buy photography books.
Yeah.
Not on theory. Sometimes on theory as well, actually.
Yeah, but more like arty ones.
Yeah.
Right?
So I can just open my current Amazon list and I can tell you what I bought recently. I bought a book.
My purchase history.
The Stephen Shaw book, Uncommon Places, is coming after Christmas, but I also bought
my
book. I'm
like, hang on a second.
Support your local author, as I say. But I also bought a book of Jean-Luc Safe, 40 Years of Photography, and he's a fashion photographer who was shooting with 21mm wide-angle lens. So I'm really excited. So that should come in hopefully today.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
Excellent. I have given to me by the lovely Derek, Genesis. By Sebastian Salgado.
Yeah, that's an amazing book. I have it.
Yeah, and I've seen bits of it, but it's a bit heavy to carry onto a desert island, but I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be quite a nice read or look at. Big Friendly Canuck asks, what's the coldest and warmest temperature and place you've both shot a photo? He's done Ottawa in -32 degrees and Tulum in 39 degrees.
That's in Mexico.
This is
Tulum,
in Celsius. For me, I haven't really shot anywhere particularly cold until the other day.
That was like -6.
Yeah, it was about -6. I think that's the coldest. When I got my car stuck was the coldest place. How about you? Because you've been...
Probably +40, -40 roughly. Maybe +30, whatever, 8, -38.
Wow.
I'm from the place where it's really cold in winter.
Yeah.
And it's really hot in summer. So the temperatures can go to like 38, 39 degrees. So FM camera was with me, full manual, and it was fine. It was fine.
Job.
Exactly.
Did the job.
I didn't shoot professionally. It was more like...
Just, yeah.
I was young, so, but yeah.
You were young. You were young back then.
It was more taking pretty pictures.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it's about. Al just got creating photographs by Albert Watson for his birthday on Tuesday. Many happy returns for Tuesday, Al. And David from Synthetic Color said, I reference Magic Lantern guidebooks often. Those are still good.
You know what Magic Lantern guide I have is by Simon Stafford on SB 800 and other.
The Speedlight. I have the same one.
I still have it, yeah.
I have the same one. It's a great book, actually.
I actually had to put my name on it because I kept it in my drawer in the shop, because if I would get technical question, I would always refer to that. So I put my name on it because every now and then it would disappear and I would never find it, and I would find it in someone else's desk.
So you were like, this is
mine, exactly.
Leave it alone. John D and J-Rod Photo Art have both just gotten a subscription to Nikon Owner. Well, fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Bubba Von Braun said, yeah, same here. Reading Nikon Owner back issues will be my Christmas reading. The Delkin card is a Delkin Black 64 gig SD, which, because of all the postal services just coming to a complete standstill.
They're on strike today and tomorrow.
Yeah, we are going to be sending goodies out at the end of the month, or actually in the new year, just to be on the safe side. So please hold on for your goodies if you've done a subscription based off the back of the stream. And thank you to everyone who has. I think there's about 10 of you that have. So that's amazing. Thank you so much.
That's nice.
It really does help keep the magazine going as well. Again, it's another lovely community to be a part of. And the very wonderful Mike Eleftheriadis, who runs the Nikon Owner London group, who works very, very hard to do all those photo walks and everything for everyone as well.
He came to the shop the other day.
He came to the shop the other day, said how amazing it is that, in their own way, for just the London group, because we have groups all over the UK, and then obviously we've got our online workshops and tutorials, which are very different sort of types of platform to this, where anyone can just stumble upon us on YouTube. And he said, it's amazing. We've got this group of probably about 20 people that come to almost every walk, and they're friends now. And we're doing our first exhibit next year. They're doing an exhibit down in the Oxo Tower. And it's just turned into this beautiful, little close family group of photographers, which I think is really great. So the more the merrier.
Yeah, I think it's always nice to do things together, especially if you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You can kind of learn from each other, you can brainstorm together. It's amazing.
Photography can be a weirdly lonely thing to do, particularly if you're in a family of non-photographers. That's why Con and I go shooting together, because we have the patience to sort of
wait for each other's shot.
It's like, oh, you want to take a shot? No problem. I leave you to it. Whereas when you're with people that are non-photographers, it just drives them up the wall, and they're like, oh, come on, you've been composing a shot for a whole 10 seconds. So it's good to have a group of people that you can kind of feel safe in and go for photo walks on. Anyway, so highly recommend Nikon Owner if you have not already subscribed. Daniel says Stephen Shaw, Uncommon Places is one of my favorite books.
That's one that is coming.
That's the
Christmas.
one that's coming.
I have this rule, one photography book a month at least. So that's kind of part of my budget.
That's great.
So, and I have even reminder in my calendar once a month. So for me, it's like at least one, but sometimes I buy two. In terms of theory books, I've been sent a couple of books by our viewers on large format. So that was good fun. So I've read those.
That's cool.
Just to refresh myself, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So then, sorry, I got distracted by the discussion of pizza, because Seth said that apparently we need help with pizza, and he's going to do a workshop at Gray's Proper Practices with Pizza. Okay, looking forward to it.
Seth recommended Joe McNally's books on lighting. I have both actually, and one of them is signed, the one that I had at college with me, the one I was studied on. So that was nice. But Seth, you should write a book on lighting as well. Think about that.
Yeah, you should, totally.
And the fake blood, obviously. So.
And fake blood, yeah. It should be called something like My Life with Flash and Fake Blood.
Exactly.
I'll help you with the title. Okay, so that was all the book recommendations, of which there were a lot. Then I had another question which came through on Facebook, actually, which was... I'm going to find it now. Can't find my questions. Here we go. Are you ever going to do your own daguerreotype? So I think I've obviously asked, I've mentioned it enough. Daguerreotype, as Con would call it. I would love to at some point. I would genuinely really like to give it a try, but I need the connections.
Well, I have that book that I bought from the exhibition. It was, I think, in V&A.
Yeah.
So I can give it to you to read if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love that. I think I'm going to go to the V&A because they've just, I think I mentioned on one of the live streams that we supplied the Nikon F that they've got on display there for the new photography exhibit. So we should go there sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
And have a look around. They've got the whole
I love V&A. I think it's a great museum.
Beautiful museum. So that was that. And that's Seth said, I can't write, man. I just turn on a camera and ramble. That's
the same.
All I got. Take it or leave it.
Literally the same. Can talk a lot, can't write for nothing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
That's the word I used. Yeah.
Any new photography images, collecting books to recommend? So books of images. I mean, definitely Joe's book on his sort of autobiography, almost, The Real Deal.
It's a well-written book.
It's a really well-written book. I highly recommend that one. Ones that you can still get a hold of. I'm just looking at the library here. I mean, Michael Putland's book was amazing, which is called The Music I Saw. That, I don't know. I think it's still in print on Amazon. We used to sell it. We actually completely sold out of all of our copies, and I don't know if it's still in print, but if you can get a hold of that, it's well with anyone who was anyone during sort of 60s, 70s, 80s on the music scene there was in that book and was photographed by him. So very, very much recommend that. If you like floral photography, then the wonderful Georgiana Lane has several books out, and I think she's also got a new book coming out at the beginning of next year.
Do you have one yourself in the works?
A flower photography book, Flowers and Mushrooms by Becky. I don't think anyone would buy it. I don't have the same aesthetic marketability as Georgiana does. If you don't follow her Instagram account, please do. It is just an absolute treat for the eyeballs. She lives in Paris and she takes these gorgeous aesthetic pictures. What are these books you speak of? If it's not on TikTok, does it even really exist?
No, but it's got pictures in it, and it's only about like 10 pages of text at the beginning, which you can totally skip. I mean, if you don't want to read about them, so this is just pictures. It's amazing.
They're beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. But again, like just looking through my Amazon history, so Robert Frank, the American's classic book of documentary photography, which again at that time actually wasn't really considered to be anything. It was actually a lot of negative reviews came out when it was released, and then over the decades it became kind of a cult classic. And one of my favorite documentary photographers is Joseph Kudelka as well. I think he's a Czech photographer. The book Exiles is amazing for if you love black and white photography. Incredible. So it really depends on what kind of photography you do, really, and if you want to learn. And there are so many classic books, really.
That's right. I love how this turned into a book recommending discussion. This is totally up my alley. I can recommend some good fiction books for you. Thank you to Andrew Purcell for your contribution to the conference as well, because I missed you out there. I think I've handled everybody's questions. I think so.
Yeah?
I'm not entirely sure.
Have you got more questions on the Instagram?
Well, a lot of them were to do with the Z8.
We're not talking
I had a few people who dropped in and said, hi, haven't spoken to you for a long time, like friends from school and stuff, which was nice. But I was like, you didn't ask me a question, but okay, thank you.
Hi, so what about Z8?
Yeah.
When can I have one?
Exactly. So what are you looking forward to over the next couple of weeks? Are you going to get the large format out? Yeah,
got my family-in-law is here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take some large format portraits of them.
Yes.
Gonna learn all the tilts and swings of the large format. So that's gonna be fun.
Very exciting.
I'm gonna self-develop it and scan it. So that's the plan for Christmas. Got a couple of interesting cameras that I need to test if they actually work or not. So I'm looking forward into that. That's pretty much it. What about you?
Good. I don't know if I'm going to try and do some photography. Also have a new camera to test out. It's under the Christmas tree. But we'll see. Z8. No. So we'll see. We'll see. If all goes well, then I will at least run a couple of rolls of film through that, so I'll have some ready to develop.
Yeah, you want to give a little hint on what it is or not?
Begins with an L.
And ends with an A?
Yeah, exactly. So if all goes well and that's working as it should, this is why I gave enough hints because I said I wanted the on camera, I wanted a spot meter to sit on that.
Yes.
So I think you can probably figure it out.
All right.
Anyway, if all goes well, then I'll tell you all about it next year.
Who knows?
We have a special guest.
Yes.
You have to go you go that way.
Have to come this way and then I'll zoom out.
And I'll go this way. And you can go this way. And zoom out, exactly.
Is that good?
I think so. I don't know. Yes. There we go. We'll share this mic.
Hello.
Ray.
Hello.
I'm here in my elf hat.
Oh, and yes, it suits you much better than it suits either Con or me.
I agree.
So I can
Totally.
pull it off.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, really. And highlights? Have you covered highlights? Individual highlights?
I think so.
Yeah. We've as much as we can. We were mainly answering questions.
So, Gray, maybe you can tell us when Z8 is coming up.
That's the burning question.
Well, if I told you.
Have to kill you.
Yeah, that's it. Then it was a last live stream together with you guys. So
That's it. It's over now. Got lots and lots of lovely comments in saying. Patrick said, Mr. Gray, Becky and Don, I think Con, have done a terrific job. There you go.
Well,
endorsement.
Well,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Really? Thank you so much. So it's I'm just really impressed of how the community that you've largely created has grown and grown. The fellowship has grown all around the world, and it's a constant delight to be able to welcome you all from all parts of the world and get together in the common love of photography and Nikon. If you're that way inclined, it's really nice, and we deeply appreciate it.
So thank you from all of us. We will be back.
Yes.
With the live stream. We'll get you back on after.
We've got do some more.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a couple actually in the works.
Yes, a couple of curious ones. Yeah.
We've got some ideas of how to anyway just mix it up a little bit.
And if you
also, that's a question. Is there anything you'd like us to cover?
Definitely.
In that particular way, but from me and speaking on behalf of Nikon Owner Magazine, which is also an important part of us, have the very dickens of a great Christmas. Have a fabulous, expansive new year, and may all your dreams come true.
Couldn't have said it better myself, really.
I agree.
On that note, I'm not going to try and top that great at all. Yes, we want to thank you very, very much for joining us. I'm going to steal this for a second, a little bit more, just a little bit. Otherwise, I have to shout. We will be back on January the 6th, which is an important one because we have a special guest on, and it's also 2 days before my birthday.
Yes.
So we'll have Rob McNeese.
Every year. Yeah, we're going to have Rob McNeese with us.
Mention the vote.
Yes, the Good Service Awards votes closes at the end of this month. So if you haven't voted and you would like to vote for your favourite Nikon exclusive camera shop, i.e. us, then please do so. It's on the Amateur Photographer website. We'll put it in the description box as well for you, so it's easy to find, and we'd hugely appreciate it.
Yes.
And other than that, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
We're going to burst into song.
Button? Yes.
We wish... No, I'm joking.
I'm not a good singer.
Take it away. Yeah. I thought it was your turn to do the solo. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you. We'll be putting a few videos out in the next couple of weeks, but otherwise we'll see you on January 6th.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.